Recorded live from a local medical facility. It's Brothers in Tights, a professional wrestling podcast. I'm Lex Dahl.
And I'm Bat Tracy. And we're
I
brothers.
in tights. I messed up the intro again, but I was like, I'll just roll through it this time because we've already done it 4 times.
I have a new idea for the name of this podcast. It'd be weird to change the name 3 episodes in, but I think you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Brothers wearing and sharing the same tights.
You're on that again now.
So what happened in the world of wrestling this week?
I don't really remember. I remember some big news I wanted to talk about, and I can't find it now.
Well, Logan Paul got signed to WWE.
That's what it was. Yeah, fucking Logan Paul got signed to WWE. How fucking stupid is that? That's what it was. That was the big news.
Yeah, that was pretty big news. I'll say I did not watch his match at WrestleMania because I watched WrestleMania this year. I don't think you did, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. Also, we can talk about Money in the Bank because I watched that too.
Well, main thing is blood and guts.
Yes, but first off, I want to. So you know your boys.
Oh, hey! I'm just reading this right now. Impact was taped on Saturday night.
Yeah. Do you know who debuted?
Alan Angels.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to tell you.
That's a spoiler, so I just want to let people know that is a spoiler.
For how early do they tape away? We're really good at saying spoiler alert after we share the news.
Yeah.
We've been yelled at a lot about that.
Anyways, so news story. Wrestling Entertainment Series. Your new favorite promotion by your boys Jism and Sonny.
What? They have a promotion?
You've heard about this. They booked a card with like Fandango and Nia Jax and Lana and literally everyone. Do you don't remember that?
I've never heard of this. No.
Oh my God! All right,
I'm too busy following CYN.
All right, hold on. So we got to go back in time then. So this is from May 18th. I remember
when everyone said that they were retired, and then they had to come out and be like, "Hey, we aren't retired, by the way."
Okay, well, so listen. So this is from May 18th of this year. Okay, your boys, the Authors of Pain, they announced that they were launching their own promotion, and they named it Wrestling Entertainment Series, WES. Okay, they announced their promotion, and they were like, "Hey, this is the start of our promotion, and in 2 weeks, we have our first show in the largest stadium in the UK."
The UK.
In the UK, yeah. I think it was in the UK. I'll tell you. Hold on.
I mean, they're both not American, so I guess it would make sense if they were overseas.
Yeah, but they immediately booked the biggest stadium they could with 2 weeks notice. Okay? And this is the card. Hold on. This is the card they announced, okay? Are you ready? Yeah. So this is the pre-show. Mike Bennett versus Biff Busick.
Okay.
Dirty Dango versus Levis Valenzuela Jr.
I thought he's Junior now. God, he changed his name. I thought Dirty Dango retired.
Well, he was booked for this. So
right. So he had to clean up dates.
This was May 18th. All right, and then so here's the main card.
Well, he announced his retirement in March, but said he would finish dates. So.
Yeah. Anyway, here is the main card. Yeah. Dean Muhtadi versus Lindsay Dorado.
Okay.
Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood versus Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green for the WES Women's Tag Team titles.
That would be an amazing match.
Killer Cross versus Samurai Del Sol versus Jonah.
Okay, so two of those are good.
Legion of Pain, AOP, with Paul Ellering versus Weston Blake and Steve Macklin for the WES Tag Team Championship.
Okay.
Leanne Fanini, which is Nia Jax, versus CJ Perry for the WES Women's title.
I remember some of these matches being booked. I just didn't know that they were their promotion.
Yeah, and then
I did see this card.
The main event is Adam Scherr versus Alistair Overeem for the WES World Championship.
Yeah.
So they booked the Motor Point Arena in Nottingham. It's a 10,000 seat arena, and the promotion's website said at the time. It's working hard to become a global brand in the sports entertainment and professional wrestling industry, bringing a new level of entertainment to the world of professional wrestling by bringing together the highest level of athletes. And then they said that they had dates across Europe and the Middle East scheduled for 2020. So that's
2020.
2022, sorry. So that's the start of it, all right? So
Yeah.
now you're caught up.
I'm caught up.
In the date since that time frame, people have dropped off the card because obviously it got postponed because they announced it with 2 weeks notice and didn't sell enough. So because of that, a lot of people have dropped off the card because they're like, well, you changed the date. I have bookings for the new date. So they're just off the card. All right, so Matt Rewalt, you know him. He used to be Aiden English.
Yeah.
So he tweeted on July 2nd that he had lost time and money as a result of the Authors of Pain and their stupid new promotion. So this is
He
his
wasn't even
official.
booked for a match, right?
He was going to be the commentator, the main
okay.
commentator. So this is his official quote. So at WES has cost me time and now cost me income. I was booked to be at, or I was asked to be on the show, but had a conflicting booking. I was told they really wanted me and would pay me up front. So as they were former colleagues, I took them at their word and passed on my other booking. And since since then, I have been completely ghosted. Zero communication. I have friends booked for the show, and luckily some of them have been paid already. But I doubt the show will happen. No travel, hotel, or any pertinent information has been shared with anyone I know. Now I'm also out a weekend or income due to them. Sorry, he did a typo. He wrote, I'm also out a weekend or income, but I think he meant now I'm also out a weekend of income due to them. Part of that is on me as I chose to forego my other date. But as I said, I was told repeatedly that for sure this was happening and they wanted me to be there. I would be wary of buying a ticket or the broadcast of this show. Then, yesterday, Nia Jax tweeted that the fact WES is still using her image in advertising despite that she said she wouldn't be appearing. So they tweeted a couple days ago a picture of a meet and greet giveaway where you can meet your favorite superstars with her picture in the middle. She retweeted that saying, I do not know why am I still on this poster, but I will repeat myself again. I will not be at the show. Please do not buy a ticket thinking you will see me perform or a chance to meet me. I hate that this misleads people. Seems kind of like AOP is getting a little fishy. But yeah, I can't believe you haven't been following that story. I
No. I just remember that card. I just didn't know it was theirs. This is cool. I'm just seeing this on Twitter now as we record in the 4th of July. 22 years ago, July 4th, 2000, Santos Escobar made his debut.
Santos Escobar?
Yeah.
Remind me who he is.
Hijo del Fantasma. Leader of
Okay. I was thinking he debuted in WWE 22 years ago.
No, he's
and I was like, I don't recognize that name from that time period.
What was he? He was in Lucha Underground as because of the
King
C.
Morto. King Corno.
Corno, yeah.
Is he King Corno? Yeah, he's King
Yeah.
Corno.
Let's run through Blood and Guts real quick. That's not the
Do
main topic.
you want to do that before? Should I just go through Money in the Bank quick? Because we don't have more. We'll have more to say about Dynamite and stuff.
Run through Money in the Bank. Okay.
It's not going to take much time.
We literally said last week that we weren't going to be a WWE podcast.
And we're not. I just happened to. So I was at work, right? And I have the Peacock app on my phone because I used to watch Everybody Loves Raymond at work. So I have the Peacock app, and it gave me the notification, and it was like, "Hey, watch Money in the Bank live right now." And so I just clicked in, and I was in the first match. So here we go. The matches: Alexa Bliss versus Asuka versus Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans versus Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Shotzi in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Liv Morgan won, and it was a pretty good match. I only paid attention to half of it because I was at work. And
I heard there was some botch of Shotzi's. I don't know if she climbed up the ladder.
Yeah. Yeah, it
I
looks
just
like
saw
whatever.
she posted something today on Twitter that I just read before we started, and she was like, I was so happy it's been my
I read
first
the same exact thing
in over a year, and she's like, you shouldn't tell people that they need to get fired over this. I'm like, I don't know what she did.
Yeah, I thought that was a good match. Becky took a sick bump where she did a Jeff Hardy style like leg drop to Asuka on the ladder, but she took it wrong and hit the back of her thighs on the ladder, and the ladder didn't break under Asuka, so she just kind of bounced off it. But it looked so bad, and Becky immediately grabbed the back of her thigh, and she her face was just like, oh shit. The next match, Bobby Lashley defeated Austin Theory by submission for the United States Championship. I will be honest with you, I did not watch this match.
No?
I saw the finish and I went, oh, Bobby won. That's neat. As soon as I heard the music, I was like, I don't need to watch this.
You really like Bobby Lashley.
I do, but I didn't need to watch this. The next match was Bianca Belair versus Carmella for the Raw Women's Championship, and Bianca retained, of course. And I didn't watch this match.
I did not even know that entire feud was happening. I didn't even know that was... Well, technically, Bianca was supposed to defend against Rhea Ripley, and she got injured. I don't know how Carmella was even a fill-in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the story was there, but I didn't watch this match because I listened to this match, though, because I remember very vividly. I had my phone sitting on the table while I was cleaning the cold table at work, and all I could hear was Corey Graves just being like, "Look at that woman in the ring. That I am married to that woman. Do you know I get to have sex with that woman? She is beautiful and perfect. She's the best wrestler in the world. She's better than Okada. I'll tell you what. I am Corey Graves, and I have sex with that woman." Like, it was ridiculous. He was really going over the top with it.
I love the Okada name drop from Corey Graves on Money in the Bank.
Of my impression of Corey Graves that I just did, my favorite part was him going, "I, Corey Graves," declaring himself.
I thought he was going to say, "I, Corey Graves, approve this message."
That is my wife, and I sleep with. It'd be no different than Miro's promos. Yeah. I mean, he does the same thing where he's like, "My hot wife that I have make love to," or whatever. The USOs defeated the Street Profits to retain the whatever the bullshit double championships are. Lex, I'm not gonna lie to you. This was such a good tag team match.
Yeah,
This was match of the night for me. This was a really, 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 really good match. Let me be clear, it's nowhere near the quality of our favorite tag team match because that's on another level. But this was a very, very good WWE tag team match.
I can't buy that because I don't like the Street Profits.
It was very good. They're very talented.
And like now they're trying to set up upper WWE management wants to push Montez Ford as a single star. And I'm like, if you're gonna push one of them, push Dawkins. I don't like Montez Ford.
The last time I saw the Street Profits wrestle, Montez Ford was a skinny little guy, right?
Yeah.
He comes out of Money in the Bank. I don't know if you've seen pictures of the match. He is jacked.
He's always been jacked.
No. I mean, you should.
No, I know.
He came out and he's like the Hulk.
I don't like him.
Yeah, I don't like him on Twitter either. I've called him out on Twitter a few times. I think you've liked him.
Yeah, because he tweets God is good every day, and then if you click in, one of the top like 5 is Road Dogg replying, and Road Dogg will be like, "Yeah, I said it best, brother. Oh my God, God's up there and He loves you, and oh my God, He loves me, and brother Jack, I can't believe how good God is." Road Dogg has more to say about God than Montez Ford.
We got a pretty substandard, boring-ass match of Ronda Rousey defeating Natalya to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey looked pretty bad in this match. Like, I don't think this was a good match at all. It was very boring, but Natalya at least looked good during it. And Rousey just, I don't know, didn't look great. But then the next match, Liv Morgan cashed in her Money in the Bank contract to defeat Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Championship. And
she pinned Ronda.
it was great, dude. It was a cool moment. I kind of was sitting there and I was like, I wonder if Liv Morgan's gonna cash in right now. And then all of a sudden her music hit and she came out. And I was like, I can't believe I just thought of that. This is, I think, the 3rd time now that a woman has cashed in the contract the same night.
Probably. Carmella's been the only one to hold it longer than 24 hours.
Yeah, I think Bailey did. I think Asuka.
Bailey never. Oh yeah, Bailey did hold it.
I think Bailey did, and I think Alexa did.
2017 was the first one, which Carmella won, and then she won the ladder match 2 weeks later. And they tried to say
that was the one that James Ellsworth won.
Yeah. So then they tried to say Carmella's a 2-time winner. It's like, anyway. So 2018, Alexa, and she cashed in the same night. Then the next year was 2019, and that was Bailey,
who did the same thing,
cashed in the same night. So then 2020 was Asuka, and she cashed in the next night, but she didn't really cash in.
She's got the belt.
just got the belt, and it was a ladder match for the belt, so she didn't really win Money in the Bank. Then the next year was Nikki
Yeah. Well, I
Cross.
mean, she was just handed the belt because,
Yeah, no, it was in the briefcase.
yeah.
They said it was in the briefcase. Then the next year was Nikki Ash,
Do you
and
remember
she
that
came.
match? Because Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio were murdered.
Yeah. Then Nikki Ash won the next year, and she cashed in the next night. And now we're at this year,
Ridiculous.
which it also happened.
It's because the Money in the Bank contract is kind of old at this point. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it for like
Hey,
2 years. Just take away for 2 years, you know?
I'd rather have that around than Survivor Series, and they won't get rid of that. So
Survivor Series sucks. Anyway, so then the main event was Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss versus your boy, Omos.
almost. I know when you were talking about booking the biggest stadium in the UK, I was like, oh, they have no idea.
Matt Riddle, Sami Zayn, and Seth freaking Rollins and Sheamus in a Money in the Bank ladder match. But wait, there's more. If you call now, Austin Theory will also come out in this match for some reason. And he won't do much of anything in this match. This was a
So
pretty good match, but of all the or Money in the Bank matches I've seen in my decade as a wrestling fan, which is I think what, 6 of them? Because
how
I
many of
haven't
you?
I haven't watched all of them. So I think maybe 6 of them. This is not my favorite.
Well, you've probably seen more because you've watched every Mania, right?
I've watched most Manias.
So if you've seen every Mania, or at least most of the
Yes,
Manias
I've
that
seen the ones with like Finley, and I've seen Ric Flair's, but I
yeah,
mean of just the Money in the Bank pay-per-views. But anyways, I don't know. This match wasn't great, but there were some cool bumps. Sami Zayn took a ladder bump to the back of his head. Looked horrendous.
I'd say most of the bumps and stuff I've seen have been pretty gnarly spots.
Yeah, like Madcap Moss powerbombed Sami Zayn onto a ladder that was in the corner, and he took it right on the back of his head. It looked awful. But
He just posted the video of him destroying Kevin Owens on that ladder that you always love to talk about.
yeah,
They just had a vote back and forth on Twitter of like, when you're best friends with someone, you trust them enough to hurt you this much, or something like that.
yeah, the pile driver on the ladder.
It wasn't a pile driver. I'm talking about the one at WrestleMania when he power bombed him onto the side of the
Oh,
ladder.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that spot you love. Like
Anyway,
one of the
Austin Theory won the match, and who cares?
Hey, it's someone young and new that they're pushing. I'll take it. I also like Austin Theory, even though I didn't think I ever would.
He has no gimmick.
Gimmick is it?
So Ken hates Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Absolutely hates him. He doesn't even think he's a good wrestler. And my defense was he's a good wrestler with a bad character and an arrogant face. He's like the
Right,
Sammy Guevara of WWE. Imagine them as a tag team. They'd be so punchable.
it'd be pretty rapey. They both have allegations about that kind of stuff. That wouldn't be a good tag team, honestly. Okay, let me run through Blood in the Guts because I don't want to do 2 weeks in a row of us saying we have a topic and it's the same topic, and then we still don't do it.
It'll be our Avatar: The Last Airbender caravan.
It'll be our sorry Matt Damon. We have to cut you for time. Hey, this contains spoilers, by the way. Blood and Guts. Cool. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. All Ego, Ethan Page with American Top Teams, Damn Lambert. I call him Damn Lambert. Versus Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy with Best Friends, but not really, because apparently in Michigan, you can't have managers unless they have a license. And so Dan Lambert sent Best Friends to the back. Also,
Oh
did you
yeah.
know that they were in Michigan? I'll start right off the bat with this. Did you know they were in Michigan?
No, I did not.
They were
We
in
could have
Detroit,
gone.
Michigan.
We could have
What?
gone. We could have gone.
They were in Detroit, Michigan at Little Caesars Arena. You
Yeah.
wouldn't know this because every single match, Taz kept bringing up how great Queens was on commentary. And he kept calling everyone Queens boys and Queens girls. It was like, oh, you can tell the heart of Queens is right with these people. It's like, oh, so they're in Queens. And then literally they'd be like, yeah, we're in Detroit. I'm like, are they in Detroit or are they in Queens? Because Taz won't shut up about Queens. More on that later, but it happened a lot. If you watched Blood and Guts just for the Queens talk, you probably got a good 5 minutes. That's a lot. a lot of him mentioning the city they're not in. It was a pretty good match. I actually really liked it. Ethan Page kept doing a lot of cool like heel work, but every time he tried to do it, the camera cut something else. So like there was this one really cool spot where Ethan Page tried to flip off the camera and it immediately cut, and like he would like laugh into the camera and it would cut.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast yet, but I am such a mark for Dan Lambert. Anything he does, I think is just gold. Like, he's just so good. And him kicking out Chucky T and Trent Beretta, it was great. It was really
So
good.
then Christian Cage had a interview on the stage with Tony Schiavone, where again he brought up Detroit, even though you'd think it was in Queens, and then he brought out a heel Luchasaurus in black. I don't remember.
Which it was like Kane.
Yeah,
the music
his
it was
theme
like
song.
Kane.
His theme song was Kane's. Yeah, I want to bring that up. But also, I don't remember if we talked about on the podcast within the last 2 weeks, but I know we talked about recently. Maybe it was when Forbidden Door happened. I was like, not Forbidden Door, but maybe the Dynamite that they lost the tag titles. I was like, I think it's so cool that he can change his tights, but he'll never change his mask because that's the color of his Saurus. Like he just is green, and then he comes out with a black mask. Looked awesome.
Wasn't the mask still green?
No, it was a black mask. It was solid black. His entire outfit. There's not much about this match. He literally just destroyed Serpentico, who's a lot smaller than I thought he was.
Snake Man.
Yeah, I know him as Snake Man, and I thought he was like a big, muscly, like good wrestler. He was so scrawny, and I was like, "Who is this guy?"
He's Luther's tag team partner, which I hate Luther so much. Have you seen him?
Yeah,
he just stands there and screams.
He's Chris Jericho's best friend. So yeah, that was a squash match. Backstage, Tony Schiavone interviewed the TNT champions Scorpio Score and Wardlow. This was a weird segment. It was like, I don't know, their backstage stuff just feels so like very scripted over the top. Like obviously it is, but like and just the way that like Sky was like street fight next week with the title at stake, which is verbatim what I just like read off the screen. I don't like that. I don't know. I didn't like this segment.
Well, I am excited for Wardlow to destroy the shit out of Scorpio Sky and take what's his, the TNT title.
It makes Scorpio Sky's entire reign so weird if you went through all of that with Sammy Guevara and Kazarian to just drop it to Wardlow right away.
Who cares?
I think there's going to be shenanigans again. I
don't care. Get it off Scorpio. This whole storyline ruined his reign and it ruined Guevara's reign. Just get it off them.
Guevara can have his reign ruined. I don't care.
Just give it to Wardlow, and then this sets it up perfectly because Wardlow's what? A big beefy dude. Who else is a big beefy dude? That's right, the big guy, Ryback Reeves. Feed him more.
Okay, so
you bring in Ryback, and you get Wardlow versus Ryback for the TNT title. Two big beefy dudes just slapping meat. Big E is gonna be so happy, you know.
Then there was a trios tag team match. It was the Acclaims, Max Caster, and the Gun Club versus Danhausen and AAA, ROH, and IWGP Tag Team Champions FTR. I thought this was a pretty good match. I like everyone in this ring right now. I'm not scissoring you.
Scissor me, daddy
I love
ass.
The Gun Club. The Acclaimed I'm finally around on. Danhausen, FTR.
You didn't like the Acclaimed when they first started?
No, I didn't like them.
But everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Well,
but they're over with you now?
Yeah. Anthony Bowens can walk.
Yeah.
And also, Billy Gunn is like a bad dad, and he sided with the Acclaimed and not the Gun Club.
Which is great because he's been treating Anthony Bowens like his real son for like weeks on end now. And so this was just great.
I thought he was going to be mad that he was like, I pushed you in a wheelchair for nothing. Didn't happen. It went the other way. I thought this was a pretty good match, though. Came in to see if I want to say this was match of the night. Oh, also, I want to jump back to the Orange Cassidy match. It was really weird that, like, right before the match, Dan Lambert was like, you could never body slam Ethan Page. And then the whole match was just pretending it was like a body slam challenge, and like he won with a body slam. Yeah. It's like they're like the same height. Like,
yeah, I don't know how we forgot to talk about that. But yeah, it was like WrestleMania 3 basically. Which It also was kind of reminiscent of the Darby Allin MJF match where he was like, "I'm gonna beat you with a
Yeah,
side headlock takeover."
I love Orange Cassidy, but like I think he did the hand in pants thing. They worked that so much this match. They really kept doing it and kind of hammering
Yes,
it home.
that was the thing I thought too, where he
Yeah.
was really it was hands in pocket the whole time, pretty much.
Sanjay Dutt was backstage with Lethal and Saddam Sin. It was I I didn't mute it. I usually mute them. All he said is he wanted a title match. I don't know why he gets one. I don't care. Next one was TBS champion Jade Gargo versus Layla Gray, who's from Queens. This was a squash match. Jade's
She's the
34
heart
now.
and soul of Queens.
I don't
She's the
like. I
king
think
of the queens.
I think he may have said that about her at one point. I don't like Jade Cargill. I don't.
Yes, you do. Do you know why Dynamite is on TBS?
I don't know because they usually show her on Rampage.
It's because it's that bitch show.
Squash match, and then Athena and Chris Statlander come out. If there's every wrestler is like the best at one thing,
Yeah.
Athena is the best wrestler in the world at running out to the ring to attack someone or defend someone. Oh my God, she just sprints so fast. Chris couldn't keep up with her. And she does it consistently. She did it in her NXT days and on, her
Yeah,
WWE
she
days.
comes out like Ultimate Warrior, just
She's
sprinting as
so
hard as
good.
she can.
She is so good at rushing the ring.
Like,
It looks so good.
did you see when she came in and the ref had to like put his arm out to catch her and she almost like clotheslined herself on him?
Yeah, she's
It was
insanely good at rushing to
crazy.
the ring. So good. I want to give Athena props about that. So that was one thing I really wanted to say. The Young Bucks were backstage. They kept talking about Fred. That was great. They
Where
have an
is
open.
Cutler?
He's injured. They said everyone they're friends with is injured.
2 contracts Cutler.
Blood and guts. It was the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Black
Sports entertainers.
Combat Club. Match started with Sammy Guevara and Claudio Castagnoli. I'm gonna be honest here with you. Didn't love this match.
Like as a whole or the opening stretch?
Like as a whole.
Huh.
Like
What didn't you like about it?
I kind of didn't like this episode of Dynamite. For starters, Sammy Guevara was botching so much at the start of this match. Claudio tried throwing him over both ropes, and he just fell in the middle multiple times. Just different things. I don't know. That was the start. And then I don't remember. Let me see if it has the order of everyone that came in. Was Jake Hager next? Okay, Claudio, Sammy. We talked about it earlier today off the podcast, but William Regal randomly brought up Johnny Saint in this match on
Yeah.
commentary. Oh, it was his birthday. He's like, it's his 81st birthday, and we all love to watch Johnny Saint. We're all inspired by him. It's our free time. We get together and play cards and watch Johnny Saint matches.
Yeah, but what do
Okay,
you say about Johnny Saint?
I say that I don't get how he's good. How do you watch his matches? Where do you watch them? When did they happen? He only had 111 matches in his career. He's not. I don't get how he like. I don't know. Maybe one day we have to watch Johnny Saint matches. Maybe he's the greatest of all time. I don't know.
He is.
Nah, he attacked Claudio, but Claudio wouldn't be shut down. Claudio got low blowed. Wheeler Yuta came in. They started talking about the tights on commentary. He was killing it. Then Jake Hager came in. This was my favorite part of the match, actually. As
We
Jake
the
Hager,
people.
as Jake Hager and Claudio were in the ring with each other, no one else got to have this stare down. The whole crowd chanted, "We the people." That was my favorite spot of the match. I really liked that. Then Mox came in. I really liked what they did with the 3-on-3. They all did the elbow thing. It hasn't happened yet, but when Angelo Parker came in, Mox started stabbing him with a fork.
Yeah, he also broke. He brought broken glass into the ring and power
Right.
bombed
Yeah, I
someone
missed
onto it.
that. Oh, also, fun fact. So I didn't watch this live. I had to watch it tape, and then you didn't tape it, so I had to watch it on demand. Here's a fun fact about watching AEW Dynamite on demand.
Okay.
Anytime that Excalibur says come into picture in picture, it's a fucking lie because on demand plays its own ads.
Yeah.
So I don't get the picture in picture. It just hard cuts to the same 4 ads I have to watch every time. And then it comes back and they're like, we saw this in picture. Wasn't that great? And I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks for that spot. So yeah, I didn't see some of it. And that's a general in all of the matches. But
Okay.
what they replayed was fine. But yeah, it finally got bloodied. I didn't see any guts.
Yeah, there were no guts.
I'm trying to see who was next. Matt Menard came in. Honestly, I don't really remember
Matt
any part
Lee.
of his. Well,
Matt
it's
Lee. Matt Lee got stabbed the fuck by Mox. He was
Santana.
bleeding.
Oh yeah, I think I missed. Yeah, Ortiz came in before Menard. He's crazy. He had some trouble getting in the door.
Yeah, and then Santana, when he came in, he got injured literally the instant he got in the match.
Yeah.
So they were down. Blackpool Combat Club was down a man the entire match. It was basically 5-on-6.
Commentary also didn't know who was there when Santana. They're like, we don't know if it's Santana or Ortiz going in the ring now. And they're like, well, Ortiz is already there. He's in the match. This is Kingston and Santana. I don't know if you caught that. I don't remember which commentator said it, but they're like, "Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Santana?" Or I think it was JR.
JR kept calling Claudio Cesaro. I don't know. If
I don't see. Did he? I was going to bring that up until the end. I only heard it at the end of the match after they won.
Yeah, he said it a couple times.
Anyway, Santana came in with a barbed wire bat, which I really wanted the whole match. I was like, can we see a barbed wire bat? And it finally happened.
Yep.
Jericho then came in and fought Ortiz, and then there was a code breaker, which I thought was cool, even though he doesn't really look that good. Eddie finally came in with a kendo stick.
And this was my favorite spot of the whole match. He came in and was just swatting the other wrestlers away with the kendo stick, making a beeline for Jericho as Jericho ran into the corner to like hide. And then Eddie Kingston pulls out fucking rubbing alcohol. He
pulls out rubbing alcohol, instantly drops it. It falls out of the ring, and Ty Conti and Jericho have to like try to squeeze it through the cage. That took way too long. And on commentary, they're like, and the Regal's like, that rubbing alcohol. And commentary's like, well, we don't know what it is. It could be anything, really. And Regal, and they kept saying that. And Regal's like, yeah, rubbing alcohol. And they're like, yeah, we don't know. We don't have confirmation. And Regal's like, listen, I'm the leader of the Blackpool Combat Club. I know what it is. I'm telling you, it's rubbing alcohol. And then they were finally like, oh, okay, well, there you have it. He has rubbing alcohol in the ring. Then it kind of went nowhere.
Okay.
Anyway, then, okay. I want to talk about this spot. This was actually maybe my favorite spot of the match. We have long talked about how Jericho hated taking the thumbtacks in his match against Dean Ambrose. He got revenge.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's just rolling. He's just dragging Moxley around in thumbtacks before finally locking in the walls. I was like, yeah, okay. That's water under the bridge at this point.
I thought about that too, because at one point when Yuta and Mox are first emptying out all the thumbtacks, Jericho was in the ring with the thumbtacks, and he looked up and saw that they were emptying them. And I don't know if you noticed this, but he walked to the other ring as they were pouring them out, and then he came back into the ring later on to do that spot. But like once he noticed that they were pouring the thumbtacks, he got out of there right away.
He got a little bit of them too, which I was surprised.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't care as much anymore.
Yeah, I think it came back from a commercial break, so I didn't get to see the picture-in-picture. But so it came back, and Jericho's just dragging Mox in thumbtacks. I'm like, what? Like, what a spot! This is
things
where
you can get away with on live TV. I know. Crazy.
Kingston hit his stupid finisher.
What do you mean, his stupid finisher?
His stupid spinning back fist, I think
it's a good finisher.
Oh yeah, I skipped that Soho attacked Conti and her dress totally came up.
Oh yeah,
and then the whole fight she had to keep pulling down her dress because it was very short. That happened on live TV. Yeah, Kingston. I don't know.
Eddie Kingston is the heart and soul of AEW.
This is when I thought the match got horrible.
All right, tell me.
They got out of the ring, they climbed to the top, and they never showed the action in the ring again. And the action on the top of the cage wasn't good. And then the finish was on top of the cage, and it like wasn't good. I like the.
That is not 100% true, because
they never cut back in the ring after they were on top.
no, I know that, but I mean, you said that there was not good spots up there, and that's not true because maybe the best spot of the match, Sammy Guevara took
Okay, yeah, he did
just
that.
a hellacious bump off the top of the cage through
What
a
was
table.
happening in the ring though? They can cut 100,000 times in Anarchy in the Arena, but they can't cut to the ring once while these guys are slowly just walking around the top as more people just keep climbing up. And then so then Claudio, I thought the finish was cool because Matt Menard tapped to Claudio as Eddie Kingston was trying to get Jericho to tap. I thought that was awesome.
Yes, to the stretch plum.
It fuels that fire. And then the rest of Blackpool Combat Club just kind of climbed up and celebrated. And it was really awkward because like Yuta and Mox had tacks all in them. And they were just like up there celebrating. And then you could just see the tacks. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And then they all did like a big hip hip hooray cheer. And Kingston was really mad that Claudio won, but he gave him the arm. And then Claudio was like, I'll give you the arm. And then they all took the arm. And then I was like, oh, it's just a weird, really like baby face finish.
The match as a whole, like the finish, you mean? Like a baby face?
Yeah, hopefully the story's done now too, which I think it is.
Hopefully. I hope Eddie doesn't continue with Jericho. Like they've been going for so long.
Yeah, he still hasn't gotten his comeuppance though.
I know, but it's like, come on. When was their pay-per-view match? It was so long ago. It wasn't Full Gear, because that was Kingston versus Punk. Was it Revolution?
Did Jericho win the first one?
It had to have been, because after Revolution was Double or Nothing, right? Which was Anarchy in the Arena? Okay, well, I think Revolution, so it's been months. No, Eddie Kingston won the first match, because he pinned Jericho. It was the first time he won a big singles match in AEW, because even he got the pin on Jericho, and immediately the camera cut to his face, and he turned and was like, "Wait, I won! I won!"
What was it? It was the first what?
It was his first big win in a singles match in AEW. Because Eddie Kingston, he's always lost the big one because he cares more about fighting than winning. Do you remember when he came out with Gasoline?
Yeah, it was pretty recently, honestly, and you can't stop being reminded of it.
Oh, and update. You watched the Ray Fenix Andrade match, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what was your thoughts?
It was pretty good.
It was a pay-per-view quality match.
I didn't think it was the greatest match ever. I sat there the whole time and I was like, hey, wasn't that one guy supposed to debut, Roosh? Like, he brought him out on Dynamite a few weeks ago. I've never seen him again. And then Roosh came out and I was like, oh, the guy's here. And then
it's funny. I always thought his name was Rush. And then he debuted and they were saying Roosh, and I went, oh, okay.
And then the whole match kind of seemed just like an advertisement because the match ended and they took off their shirts and had the t-shirts on. And also, you never see in a wrestling ring that when a wrestler puts on a shirt, because he handed him a shirt and he put it on. So I thought that was cool. And but Tony Schiavone or Excalibur on commentary was like, well, Elito is a really good businessman, so I bet that's already on shopaew.com. And I'm like, oh, wow, way to just pad that.
That is pretty good, though. He's a very sneaky businessman, so I bet it is on the website already.
It was a very good match, obviously.
It was a very good match.
Can Fenix have a bad match? I don't know. I
mean, that match he had with the Young Bucks wasn't that great.
It's the greatest tag team match of all time. I was just going to say I need to rewatch it. Let's talk about what this episode is actually supposed to be about.
All right, what is it?
The first episode, we talked about how we got into wrestling.
Yes.
I want to talk about when we decided to stop watching wrestling.
Okay.
When I used to work, I mean, I still work, but I remember, like, start a job, and they'd be like, what are your days off? And I'd be like, I need Monday and Fridays off. I need to watch wrestling. Like, I wouldn't work to watch wrestling. It was awesome. Have it off every week, and then whatever. I remember the first time I kind of decided to tone it back was Royal Rumble 2015 when Reigns won. And I was pissed off, but I was still watching. And then Rollins cashed in, so it made me want to watch every week in second. So kept watching. Then Rollins got injured, and then they gave the title to Reigns a bunch of times. And I was like, why the hell am I watching this? Then WrestleMania 32 happened. You left.
What was the main event of 32?
Reigns Triple H. That you
Yes.
haven't even seen that match.
No, I'd never watched it.
You left the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You said you had a better time watching Hall of Fame the night before than that WrestleMania.
Wow, that sounds far-fetched, but I'd
That's what
have to
you
look
said
at the
the night.
card. I'd have to
That's
look at the card to remember because I don't remember a single match
I
from
can
that
tell
card.
you the card.
Yeah,
It was
read it to me.
the IC title match where Zack Ryder won.
All right, yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It was a good match with the wrong winner because they took it away from him
it
the next
was
night.
Jericho Styles.
Yeah, that was a bad match.
It was a good match, but the wrong guy won.
I didn't think the match was that great either.
Shane Taker was in the Hell in a Cell.
That was whatever.
The women's triple threat match was really good. Just the wrong woman won.
Lynch.
Thanks, Charlotte Lynch.
Okay, yeah, that was a good match, but yeah, Banks should have won that.
No, I think Becky should have won that.
No, Sasha.
Baron Corbin won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, which I actually didn't mind.
Oh yeah, because that was his debut.
And I liked Corbin from NXT. Let me read the other matches because I'm just going off memory. But now let me pull it up.
That was Baron Corbin.
Kalisto defeated Ryback in the pre-show for the U.S. title. There was also Team Total Divas versus Team Bad. I remember that match because that was when Brie Bella retired.
All I got to say about that match is hell yeah, Ryback, the pre-show stopper.
The Usos defeated the Dudley Boys in a pre-show, and that match, it wasn't good. Oh yeah, the League of Nations defeated the New Day, and then right after, Stone Cold, Mick Foley, and Shawn Michaels all allied up to just take out everyone. It was really stupid. Yeah. Brock Lesnar defeated Dean Ambrose in that no-holds-barred street fight where every week leading up, a new legend came out and was like, hey, here's a chainsaw. Kill Brock Lesnar with that.
Do you remember when they first announced League of Nations versus the New Day? It was a handicapped 4-on-3 tag team title match.
Yeah.
And then they ended up finally changing it to a 3-on-3 or whatever it was with Wade Barrett sitting on the ringside or whatever.
Yeah. Then The Rock also defeated Eric Rowan, but that was just stupid. So
that was match of the night.
No, it wasn't.
I think it was.
It would only be match of the night if it was the match you can perfectly describe what happened.
I can't. The Rock was doing his shtick. He lit something on fire. I think he lit his own name on fire.
He lit his name on fire, but that's not part of the match. I'm talking
no, hold on, listen.
No, I'm talking bell to bell. I don't want to talk about him lighting his name on fire. We have to get this going.
Bray Wyatt came out, and Rock was like, hey, Bray Wyatt, you're looking fat, you fucking fatty. And then Bray Wyatt was like, I bet I could beat you in a match. And The Rock was like, oh, yeah, I'd whoop any of your candy asses. And then Bray Wyatt was like, yeah, what about my boy Eric Rowan right here? And he's like, all right, let's do it. And then the match started, and Eric Rowan went for a move, and The Rock just hit him with the rock bottom and pinned him. It was a good match, but the wrong guy won.
WrestleMania 32 sucked, and I think I kind of was like, I'm done with this for a while. I remember tuning in because Styles was around.
Yep.
And I think
there was always things keeping me going for a long time.
The thing that finally called it quits for us was that November when Goldberg returned.
I stuck with it even after that.
And then he squashed Brock, which I wasn't happy about.
Yeah.
And then pretty much from there, I never watched WrestleMania 33 live.
Read me 33. And I'll tell you, because I think I stopped watching in 2018.
I don't know. 33 was 2017. It was April 2nd, 2017.
Because that was Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was still watching the TV up to that point because I was watching the Festival of Friendship and all that stuff.
That was one of the fucking coolest things ever. You and Ken texted me before WrestleMania 33 because I wasn't watching. I was in Florida.
Yeah.
And you guys texted me and were like, who's your pick for the Andre Battle Royal? And I was like, I do not care. Pick anyone for me. And they're like, you have to pick. We all picked one Raw guy and one SmackDown guy. I went, fine. Fucking Big Show and Mojo Rawley. Those are my picks. And then fucking Mojo Rawley won. And I was like, holy shit.
And Big Show won the next year.
No, he won.
Or the year before.
2 years before. He won at 31.
Oh, okay.
Neville defeated Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship. Dean Ambrose defeated Baron Corbin to retain the IC Championship. That was all pre-show. Styles defeated Shane McMahon, which was a really good match. Owens defeated Jericho for the U.S. title. Bayley defeated Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks in a fatal four-way elimination match for the Raw Women's Championship. The Hardy Boys returned to win the Raw Tag Team
That was a
titles
good
against
match
the Good Brothers.
because that was their third ladder match in 3 days.
Right. The Bar and Enzo and Cass.
Which
John
you
Cena.
look at those guys now, and yeah.
John Cena and Nikki Bella defeated The Miz and Maurice, then got engaged. Seth Rollins defeated Triple H.
I wonder how that ended.
Randy Orton defeated Bray Wyatt to win the WWE Championship for some fucking reason.
Wait, what was it? Sorry, what was that one?
Randy Orton defeated Bray Wyatt to win the WWE Championship for some reason.
Okay.
I think that maybe was, I don't know.
That was a bad
off.
match.
Oh my god. Brock Lesnar defeated Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Naomi defeated Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Mickie James, and Natalya in a 6-pack challenge for SmackDown. And then Reigns versus Taker in a no-holds-barred match, which wasn't even a no-holds-barred match till the bell run.
Yeah.
And no one wanted it to be the main event.
Yep. And it was a really bad match because Taker couldn't do anything.
No.
He kept dropping Reigns and dropping himself. And okay, so yeah, I was still watching TV up to that point. So what was the next WrestleMania?
34, which I watched 34.
Yeah, I also did. That was
you
Kofi
always
Kingston.
brought up to me that you stopped watching wrestling because of Goldberg.
I did, but I think I was still
34
watching.
Was not. Did you say 34 was Kofi Mania?
Yeah.
That was 35.
Okay, what was 34 then? Because I know by 35, I was 100% done with the product because I was only watching pay-per-views if Alistair was wrestling. And I wanted to see Kofi.
34, Matt Hardy won the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. Cedric Alexander defeated Mustafa Ali for the Cruiserweight Championship. Naomi won the first WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal by defeating Bayley. Seth Rollins defeated The Miz and Balor for the IC Championship. Charlotte Flair defeated Asuka to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. Jinder Mahal beat Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Rusev for the U.S. title. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey defeated Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. The Bludgeon Brothers defeated the Usos and the New Day. The Undertaker defeated John Cena. D-Bry and Shane McMahon defeated Owens and Zayn. Nia Jax defeated Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. Styles defeated Shinsuke for the WWE Championship. Strowman and Nicholas defeated The Bar for the Raw Tag Team Championship. And Brock Lesnar defeated Roman Reigns. And he elbowed Reigns. Reigns was gushing out blood. It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so I was still watching TV up to this point, and then I think I quit watching WWE TV after this pay-per-view because they were still enough to keep me hooked up to this point because like people were still debuting and I still had hope for them. And like Dana Bryan was coming back to becoming a wrestler and I wanted to see that. And so there was still stuff keeping me interested. But yeah, after this, I completely lost interest. And because like I just couldn't do WWE anymore. I was like, I just don't like their storylines. All my favorite wrestlers that come in, they ruin and kick them to the curb, or they treat them like shit because they're not John Cena or they're not Brock Lesnar or whatever. And it just sucked. And so I was like, I can't keep doing this where, I'm a fan of a wrestler and they get signed and I'm like, hey, this guy could do something. And then they just don't. And it sucks. So I was like, I just can't do this anymore. Aleister Black should have been the one wrestler who could have beat Bruno Sammartino's record for longest WWE championship reign, and they squandered it. They did. So
I can't do it anymore now just because I look at the product NXT 2.0 has. It's horrible. And then I hear anyone talk or watch any storylines on the main roster, and it's horrible. Like I held in for a long time just being like a fan that tried to keep up to date, and now like I'm
still up to date because I read Cage Side Seats all the time, but I don't watch anything. And like I'll see people on Twitter be like, "Yo, this just throw out a WWE wrestler name." I can't think of anyone. Randy Orton. So they're like, "Hey, look at this Randy Orton promo on Raw last night. It's maybe his best of his career." And I'll watch the video. It'll be like a 3-minute promo, and I'm like, "That was fucking garbage." It just sounds like every other promo in WWE. Because they're all scripted and they're all like, I'm Randy Orton and you're Seth Rollins and I'm going to hit you with an RKO out of nowhere. Like, they're all just the same. Roman Reigns is what killed me as a wrestling fan more so than Goldberg. Is when they really started to push Roman Reigns as like this, the end all be all. I was kind of like, I don't want to be around for this.
You sent me Liv winning the title, and I didn't even know Money in the Bank was this Saturday. Like
Yeah.
I used to really keep up with it, and I'd keep track of the event throughout the night and keep refreshing results and stuff. Even if I didn't watch, I just refresh results. I just don't care anymore. I just need to know who's current champs, and that's it. And I don't know any of the 2.0 people anymore.
Yeah, I see their names and I go, I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah, because they changed them all too.
They changed them all and they got rid of everybody. Like you look at the roster on NXT 6 months ago compared to what it is now, and it's completely different.
And then, like, what I don't like is everyone is always talking about how great it'll be when Triple H is in charge.
Yeah, and it'll never
And
happen now.
now Stephanie is CEO and Triple H is like back to work. And then they fucking hired Logan Paul. And I was like, oh, I guess this wasn't such a good thing that we all wanted. So I don't want to watch fucking Logan Paul wrestle.
Well, we don't have to watch him because we don't watch WWE.
I know. Yeah, Roman is what killed it for me.
Yep, same.
Still does. Send him to main event.
Which is a show that I can't believe is still going on.
Just because they tape it in front of Raw.
It's been going for like 13 years. What brought you back into wrestling? Should we get into that? Because this
just Dynamite.
Yeah, so the thing that brought me back is one, I never lost interest in wrestling. I was
Right.
still reading Cage Side Seats every single day. I've literally never stopped. I've read the rumor roundup every single day.
And
for
I'll say
the past decade.
when I stopped watching WWE on a weekly basis, I was still watching the top 10 videos that they put out on their YouTube channel for every show.
Yeah, and I was still watching, like I would
Then if I saw
watch.
something really cool, I'd go back and watch the match or whatever.
Yeah, so like when I first lost interest in watching the normal product, I was going back and watching like classic matches and stuff. So it's like I still want to watch wrestling, or I'd watch wrestling matches on YouTube or whatever. You know, I was a really big fan of Aleister Black, and I was watching NXT for a while because I really liked Aleister. Then they fired him, and he debuted in AEW. And the first time I checked out AEW for a full episode was his debut. And then I didn't really get into it right away because I was like, yeah, well, I like a lot of the wrestlers, but whatever. I wasn't committed. And then there was rumblings that CM Punk was coming back.
Yeah.
And so I watched the episode before that and started getting into it. And then CM Punk debuted, and holy shit, I was hooked.
And so, like, I watched the first few Dynamites. Like, I had them all. Like, I was like, let's start watching it and, like, just be into this from the start. I did that for a while.
I really wish I would have. I really wish I would have.
I did it for a while, and I just never had time to watch them because I couldn't watch them live. I had to tape them, and then, like, it's weird to go back to watch it, and you get behind. So I stopped.
Remember when you gave me your review of the first episode of Dynamite, your review was, yeah, they used Jack Swagger too much.
Well, not the first episode. He just debuted. I don't know.
Unless it was the second episode.
I have mixed feelings about Jake Hager because, like, I know he can go to any house show and just put on a 5-star banger with Bryan Danielson, but on the main stage, what is it? You know?
Yeah, but they only use him for these type of matches, like the blood and guts.
I never hear him talk.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he doesn't wear socks.
I saw his gear from, like, I think he just had a match on Rampage. He had some pretty cool gear.
Yeah, he had a match against Kingston not that long ago.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so you started watching Dynamite again, and I still, watched whatever.
Yeah, Malachi Black is what got me back into wrestling because I started watching for him.
I remember I don't remember if I was watching, I don't remember the timeline. Whenever Jeff debuted in Dynamite, Jeff Hardy, I knew I was gonna like kind of start watching more. And then when you told
me how that turned out.
Yeah. And then when you told me that the greatest wrestler in the world, Buddy Matthews, debuted, I was like, okay, I can watch a product every week again.
See, it's funny how we have different opinions on who the greatest wrestler in the world currently is.
Right.
But of our differing opinions, both of them is what made us start watching AEW.
And both of them are in the same faction. But also they don't.
And one of them shouldn't be in the faction because they don't look like the part. He needs to get that.
That's what I'm saying. He shouldn't be in the faction. He should be world champion. CM Punk got injured. They should have been like, here, we were gonna give this to you anyway. So I don't know if you remember when Punk won the title, I looked at you and I went live when it happened. I looked at you and went, now if they play their cards right, he should come out on Dynamite this week, issue an open challenge. Buddy Matthews comes out and wins the title. That's good booking.
That's terrible booking.
Hey, he wouldn't be injured if they did that because he would have stopped trying to hit fucking.
I think of the 3 people in House of Black that are male, I think Buddy Matthews is the 3rd least interesting.
If he's the 3rd least interesting, doesn't that make him the most interesting? Because if he's the 3rd interesting,
well, he's the third most interesting then.
If he's the 3rd most interesting, that means he's the least interesting. So he's the 3rd least interesting. He's the most interesting.
No, he's the 3rd least interesting. I don't know what I mean. He's the least interesting.
Right before we end, who won the Royal Rampage match? I'm not going to watch that.
I don't know. I haven't watched Rampage yet.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I think Brody King did.
I think Brody King won because I kept seeing. I saw on Twitter there was like tweets like Brody fucking King. So I think Brody won.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't have anything else to say. I'm tired and I have to wake up early tomorrow. We're wrestling fans again, and now we have a podcast about it.
Yes, and I was always playing EWR too, even when I wasn't.
And I was always playing. I'll say this: for someone that stopped watching the product and stopped giving a shit about it for a while, I was the one guy that I've heard of that fucking stuck with WWE 2K20. Everyone shit on that fucking game. I played it every goddamn day of my life, from the day of release to the day 2K22 came out. That is no joke. I played that every fucking day.
I can't believe you.
I have every single fucking person's overall memorized. I can tell you, like, fucking, I got documents of all the matches I've had in that goddamn game. Fuck everyone else shitting on that game. I know it wasn't great, and I know I got pissed off every time I played it every day for the entirety of it was being out. But god damn it, that match has a special. People are like, why are you playing that game? It's bad. No, I don't care. Like, obviously the quality of the game is like very important. But when you have a roster as good as that one, you have to play it. And like the new game has a nice roster, but a lot of people are gone. And now they just patched the new game. And anytime I try to create a wrestler, it crashes the game. It just freezes on me. So I don't know what they fucking patch. Every time they patch the new game, it gets worse. So I think 2K20 maybe is better. I don't know. But I'll say that. That's my little piece. It's a great game.
I think WWE 13 was the last great WWE game.
That was the first one you played, so stop.
And it was amazing.
Besides when we got into, I can say that too, about episode 1 with us getting into wrestling. Before we started watching wrestling, I just went to Family Video and rented all the video games.
Yeah.
So like we played all of the games. We played 2007 through 2011. We did all the road to WrestleManias and everything, and then we started watching wrestling, and we were like, well, who are these guys?
Where's Mike Knox?
Yeah, that was like one, we were like, where's Mike Knox? Because we had that incredible, the longest match in wrestling history.
Six-man
ladder match with the biggest people in the world.
We watched that match for like 2 hours before we finally were like, we have to turn this off.
We CPU'd it. And, but no, I remember like, because like people in the video game were over for us, and then we started watching wrestling, and we're like, well, maybe Jesse and Festus are on a hate us right now or something. Where's Jesse and Festus? We need to hear some biscuits and gravy. And then they never showed up.
Gravy.
From the moment we started watching wrestling to currently, they have never shown up.
That's not true. Festus came back as
I'm talking about Jesse and Festus with that music. It never came back. It's also weird that Jesse is a second-generation superstar, and like his dad is like just considered in one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And
yeah, who's his dad?
It's Terry Gordy.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
This has been Brothers in Tights, a professional wrestling podcast. I've been Lex Dahl.
I've been Bad Tracy.
No Sporkle this time, which is fine. We don't have to make that a thing. Oh, we need.
Yes, and that'll be easy because I can just make this an audio one this time.
Can we really quickly do a random wrestler showdown? Time for a random wrestler showdown, and then we can call it.
Set quantity to 1. Who are your 6 to start with?
Jake Roberts, Edge, John Cena, Arn Anderson, Roddy Piper, and Christian Cage.
Do you want to hear my 6?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Rick Rude, Ric Flair, Rob Van Dam, Dwayne Johnson, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to generate.
I'm generating also.
Who'd you get?
Who'd you get?
No, I always go first. Who the hell'd you get?
I got Randy Orton.
Ooh, interesting. I got Ted DiBiase.
Junior or senior?
Senior.
Okay.
This is
I think Randy Orton would win in a match.
I talked about it last week, and we agreed that Randy Orton is the greatest WWE superstar of all time.
Yes.
So, but also, I mean, now are we talking clean finishes here?
Oh yeah, I'm talking. Well, it doesn't have to be a clean finish. Like if a heel wins, they can do heel stuff, but it's a pinfall. Like it's not someone cheating. Okay. You know, it's a world title win.
I'm saying like
but Orton on the other hand,
I was gonna say like Orton getting hit with the $1 Million Championship, Ted DiBiase locks in the $1 Million Dream, and Orton taps or passes out. I cannot see Orton tapping. I know he's done it, but I just can't see it, especially like right now.
I mean, I can see it because I prefer AEW style wrestling. So there's more submissions. The WWE thinks submissions make you look weak for some reason. I don't know.
I know, but I'm just saying I can't see Orton submit him. Like,
I know what you're saying. Anyways, I think
Sheamus
on the other hand,
Sheamus has never tapped out in his entire WWE career.
That's crazy. On the other hand, I would want to give Ted DiBiase the world title because he never got to hold one. And Randy Orton has been like a 20-time champion or something like that.
Well, technically Ted DiBiase has held one.
What, the $1 million?
No, he held the WWE Championship.
Yeah, but it's not in the lineage.
I'm just saying he held it.
Yeah,
Andre handed it to him and he held it.
Yeah, but he's not in the lineage. I have to share my screen with you. This is going to be off the podcast. But I have to share my screen with you to show you Bill Goldberg's picture. All right, can you see it?
Oh, it's lovely. It doesn't even look like Goldberg's legs. Anyways, as I was saying, this has been Brothers in Tights Professional Wrestling Podcast. I've been Lex Dahl.
And I'm Bat Tracy.
And we will talk to you next week.
Yes. Next time, we'll see you there.
We don't have a topic yet, but we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll discuss an old storyline or something.
We talked about maybe watching a WCW pay-per-view. We should do that, maybe.
Talk about that. I don't even know how we're going to record next week because, I'm on vacation. I get back Sunday, so I'll have to watch Dynamite Monday, but I'll probably work all day Monday. I don't know how it's going to work yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll just have to watch because you can watch a pay-per-view while you're on vacation.
It depends on what time I get home Sunday night, I guess.
Because if we need to, you can just do a WCW pay-per-view or something. We'll figure it out. All right.
We'll talk then. We'll talk to you guys later.